Hi, morning. I've just been to a festival, and I've been to lots of festivals, but it's been a long time since I've been to a festival like this. I was surrounded by people like me, a lot like me. Naughty Corner was a very, very, very crusty traveller, raver sort of festival. And I saw something this weekend that I could go, I understand that. I, as many know, don't do drugs anymore. And I got to speak to 5 people over the weekend about mental health, addiction. And I put them on to Gabay Mate. I spoke with a young man whose mum was a heroin addict, and the same age as me. And he said, after we had a chat, he said, "Thank you. You've given me a different way of thinking about it." Because I believe there's issues of still anger, which is right. Like me. This whole anger thing, we have been so taught so much bullshit about it. It took me years to realise what it was truly about and what my dad was saying, my parents were saying. In 1945, January 1945, my dad celebrated his 8th birthday and he broke his toy and he was crying, and his auntie came out and went, "What are you crying about, Johnny?" And he went, "I've broken my birthday toy." And my auntie went, "How dare you? There's men out there fighting for your freedom. And you're crying over a broken toy. They're dying." And my dad shut down. And it wasn't till many years later that Dad explained that story. He explained that all the men that were around were old or fucked. Right now, imagine everybody you know, aged from, let's say, 20 to 40, who's fit and healthy, gone somewhere. It wasn't like little bits, it was over bloody night. People, he told me a story about my nan, and he was playing, and on a Monday morning they brassed the steps, and this motorbike came down the road, and they all stopped. And they stared as he went out round the corner, and they all gasped. What that motorbike bloke was doing was delivering a telegram to some poor woman: "Your son, your husband, your uncle, is missing or dead." So this is what they grew up with. And they were told to shut up. And they then told us to shut up. You can't be angry. I live in Plymouth and we have Marines marching. If a soldier dies, they leave a gap. There was none of that. Because everybody was in the same bullshit. You couldn't cry publicly. And you couldn't show anger. Dad told me the story about the angel of death. The guy had to go and do that telegram. So there'd be women in the pub. "You angel of death, you!" Drank himself into a grave. Because that's what he did. Delivered telegrams. There you go. Son. And they found out. They shunned him. And he drank himself into oblivion. So we had that generation. And my parents... I'm sorry about this. I'm not judging you because, I can't. I'm going to get to that bit. So my generation grew up. That generation grew up in, my dad grew up in utopia where they had it all. This 1960s was a working class decade. And then gone. And we were left in that utopian nightmare with council estates. You know, honestly, they were falling down. They were useless. They were crap. We were confined. And then we had all our industry taken away. And at the same time, as we fought in Afghanistan with the Northern Alliance against the Russians, bingo. What was Britain flooded with? Heroin. It was everywhere. So if you lived in that squatter alternative scene, I didn't know anybody who lived on the traveller scene or the squatting scene or on that lost 1980s king who hadn't done smack. Practically everybody I know was into it. It was there. I remember times it was more easy to get gear than weed. You know, I lived in Liverpool in 91. You want to score? Just stand still. Someone will fucking cater for you. Before it was a city of culture, when it was a city of crack. And this is what it was. This utopian nightmare that so many, at the festival they had a board of all those who died. I never got to see it. I buried untold people. Untold. I stopped going to what I call junkie funerals, because I couldn't take it anymore. You know, we had AIDS thrown into the bucket. It was just like they kept throwing cats into the, you know, it was just mad at times. And this weekend I saw a lot of me's that were sedated, or methadone, or amitriptyline, or Ligatril. And I saw something this weekend, and I got it. I realised after 56 years why I'm nomadic. Why I can't conform to a normal, so-called, whatever normal is, society, the 9 to 5 and everything. I was with my own people for the first time in years. People that I could talk to and go, oh yeah, I know that. I got to talk to some people over the weekend about addiction and mental health. And I mean it. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. It will happen. It took me years. I'm 11 years clean of street drugs and 9 years of meds. That's the one. I'm glad I'm got off. We are a beautiful people, and I saw beautiful people this weekend. Over 1,000 people. About 1,000 people. And I was told one arsehole that has to be removed. Being you is the most fantastic thing you can be. Because you're beautiful and amazing. You are the best thing in your life. You have knowledge and skills. I don't talk to anyone professional anymore. I did it in 1991 and told them I've got drug and alcohol issues and I'm feeling really sad and I can't stop. I have these mood swings. And he went, you got manic depression, and put me on Bufardin. We are the beautiful people. And you're beautiful. Peace out.